Cheers.
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 Yeah.
Welcome to the first podcast.
That's a podcast. I've heard that.
Welcome to the first podcast. Taking some practice to take the mic. So we've got three generations of Eberts here.
Yep.
What year were you born, Grandad?
1939.
A wee while ago. And yourself, Dad?
1966.
In 1994 for me.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll start with when you were born.
Yeah.
And what was it like in those times, Grandad? Tell me a bit about it.
Well, as a little fella, I don't remember a lot of my little days. I was a bit of a sickly little lad. I didn't start school till I was 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Was that not normal back then?
No, it was 5. Yeah, and I went to Eastern Hut School, which was in Lower Hutt, and used to walk to school back in those days.
Yeah.
And
How long was your walk from home? Because did you live in Petone?
no, lived in Lower Hutt.
Oh, okay.
In Lower Hutt,
Yeah.
in Pretoria Street. How far would it be? Oh, hell.
About a K?
Yeah.
About a kilometre, isn't it?
Yeah, up around, just round the corner. Yeah, about a K, I guess. Yeah,
That would have been fun in winter.
all the time. Yeah, you learn to run.
Yeah. And how many siblings did you have growing up?
We had four brothers and a sister, and we lost a sister. Yeah, she was only born for 4 hours.
Oh no,
Oh, sorry,
that's all right. What was her name?
Patricia.
And tell me about your brothers. Are you the oldest, youngest?
Yep, I was firstborn, and then my brother Robert, who was nicknamed Nook. And back in the days, everybody sort of had a nickname, and my grandma was the one who sort of started naming him.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So named him Nook, and that's how he all through his life. He cricket, in the name of the paper. He was a good cricketer, and it was Nook Ebert.
Was he your closest in age to you?
Yeah. There's me, 39, 41 was Nook, 43 would have been Patricia, and then 2 years later was Brian, and 2 years after that was Peter, and then there was the gap. Judy was 9 years after me, and then Barry was 17 years after me.
Yeah, big Judy's then, being the older brother of that lot.
Yeah. Which sad to hear that.
And speaking of your parents, tell me
Yep.
about them. Because I didn't get to meet them myself.
Yeah.
I met your mum, of
Yeah.
course, great-grandma.
Up in, yeah.
17 years of my life.
Yeah, Dad died in 1990. And
What was your childhood memories of growing up with your parents?
he was a hard man back in the days, and he went into business with his brother, into the tyre business. And when I was at school, I was at Tech, and he wanted someone to work for him, and so he actually didn't ask me. He told me. Yeah.
You probably have some comments on that. You would have known him well, Dad.
Yeah.
I knew Grandad well, and yes, he was persuasive, you could say. I was lucky enough to spend all my school holidays when I was growing up with Grandad, and out at the tyre factory and around the place. So I grew up with my uncles and my Grandad being around. He was good fun. A man I looked up to a lot. So yeah, it was sad to lose him when he was so young. You know,
69, yeah.
69 years old. So, Dad being 85's well outlasted
Yeah.
all that
Yeah.
generations.
Yeah. Except for me mum, she got to 92.
92,
Yeah.
that's right. She was still going strong.
Yeah. And it was one of those things that, all us boys, we said, we've got to try and beat Dad's age.
Yeah. You've done that.
Well, yeah, I think, I'm not sure whether Funkin' Peter did or not.
Yeah, Peter did.
Did he? Yes, I think he
Peter
retired.
did.
Yeah.
And tell me about great grandma, your mum.
Oh, good lady. Yeah. She saved me from a few hidings back in the day. Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, great grandma was. I call her great grandma. She was grandma to me, but she was good to be around. I remember the early days in Pretoria Street. And grandma would make the Christmas pudding with the pennies in them. And you'd be eating
threepences and
threepences,
sixpences.
yeah. That's it. And so you'd be eating the meal and you'd come against a coin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back in those days, probably be horrified to do that now with what comes out of the coins.
You're not allowed to do it. Yeah.
And no, always welcoming, always get the biscuits out of the cupboard when I'd go around. It was a very welcoming place back then.
Yeah, and obviously she was in the hut and then moved up to Foxton with you in her later years, and we'd see her walking across to your place in Foxton. She absolutely loved that, I think.
It was a good setup, that. She was in the flat over there, and our house was here, and we could look over at her place, and every morning the signal that she was okay was open the curtains. She had to open the curtains, and we knew she was okay. If the curtains weren't open, we went over to see if she's okay. Yeah.
And she's in Motueka now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Out at Rewalker, which is a little place just outside of Mott. Yeah.
Yep. Cool. Yeah. And speaking of going to different places in the country, what was your favourite holiday that you've been on in your lifetime?
Oh, well, I guess I went to Hawaii for a wedding. My friend who lives in America, his daughter got married, so me and I went over to the wedding in Hawaii, and we did a 7-day boat cruise to islands, and those days we were playing golf, so we arranged instead of going town shopping, and we booked our golf on every stop.
That sounds like you. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, we just down the gangplank into a van, off to golf. They picked us up, brought us back. It was bloody awesome.
I guess a follow on from that question then, what's your favourite golf course you've ever played on?
Oh hell, it would have been one of those ones because, and I forget the name of them. But there's one over there that the internationals play on. But so we had around on that. But here in New Zealand, just sanding down in the hut. We went up to Wairaki, head around at Wairaki, which is one of the top ones up in Rotorua Way.
Yeah, I've played Wairaki.
Yeah.
Lucky enough to play Wairaki on one of those fancy work trips.
Yeah.
And the other one just out of Hastings.
We used to go at Christmas time, way back. I don't know how I got away, but we did Bob Kennedy and the group of about 8 of us used to go New Year up the Hastings Way, play 4 rounds of golf. I forgot about that too. Yeah.
Lots of different places. One of the big flash places, I can't remember the name of it, but it's very exclusive up on the hills.
Yeah.
Up there in the Hawke's Bay.
Then coming into your teenage years, when did you get into football? How big was football in your life?
Well, I started. I had to, because they were working, and I took myself to the football. Went to play with Stop Out, I don't know how I started there actually, but I was playing for Stop Out anyway. And then at college, when I went to college, then I met Bob Wally and Eric Donnelly and those, and they played for Petone. So that's when I started playing for Petone. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I just first year at college. Yeah.
Do you know what year that was, or how old you were at that time?
About 54, 1954.
Yeah. How old were you then, do you think?
Well, I should be able to work it out. I was born in 39, so where's my brain?
Teenage years.
Yeah.
Teenage years.
Yeah.
What position did you play?
Fullback mainly, yeah.
Fullback.
Yeah.
So I took after my granddad then. Were you left or right?
Right.
Right,
yeah.
okay.
I don't, left one was to stand on.
Yeah. I must have come out the other way to you because I'm the opposite.
Yeah.
And you got Dad as well. He played. Brad.
Yeah.
You pretty much created a complete football team.
Yeah, well, it was good, coming through Petone club. It was great having, Wayne O playing and you and Brad playing and 3 generations, playing for the first team. It was awesome. It was a nice thing to think about. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess explain that feeling of being able to watch your son play his first team game.
Yeah.
What was that like for
to be
you?
Back in '90 there, when we were doing this and we won the cup and that, it was awesome. Yeah.
Those were the days, eh?
You got a good bunch of guys.
Yeah.
A
And
really good bunch of guys.
What was were you the coach at the time?
Oh,
Maybe you can speak about those
I was
days.
manager. Yeah. Boomer was coach, and I was manager with John Morris. Back in those awesome days. Yeah, they were good days.
Yeah, they were. We did have a really good bunch of guys, a good bunch of Petone boys, and a couple of coming from the outside.
Rowie and co.
Rowie,
yeah.
Rowie from the UK, and even though he only played a few games that season, he was a big influence on the team. Just the thing that made us different, I suppose, was we wouldn't have made any star-studded lineup individually, but together we really gelled really well.
Yep.
Club rooms was humming. It was we brought in the seconds and the thirds and the women. It was just a really good buzz, and anyone who was around the club at that time would remember those times.
Yeah.
It was
each of the players were not responsible, but were a figurehead for a junior team. They took on a junior team, and a lot of the juniors came along to watch, their senior player to play. And it was awesome. It was just a good connection those days.
Yeah, because you took over a team when you were like 16 with Jimmy, right? So those would have been the ball boys back then watching you play, no doubt.
Yeah, it was when I was when Jimmy and I started taking the team later in life. We took them from under 6 or under 5, whatever they were, through to youth grade, which was 18.
Yeah.
And in between those times, I got married, and I had them as guard of honour at my wedding. So having my football team, they were probably young teenagers by then. That's why only half of them were there. It was too cool for school not to be there.
What did Mum think about that?
Mum had a lot to say about that, but not a lot to say. In fact, one of those boys became a legendary first team player as well.
You want to shout out his name?
Yeah. Good old BJ, Brendan May.
Yeah.
Nice. And then just quickly going back to your childhood, Grandad, is there anything that comes to mind when I ask what your favourite childhood memory was?
Oh, hell. I'd have to give that some thought to try and remember.
That's all right. Maybe we can come back to that one if you like.
Yeah.
Is there any one of your favourite memories?
Oh.
If you had got a hole in one, that probably would have been it, right?
Yeah, I was about 8 inches off it though.
Were we all?
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and then going into becoming a parent, what was it like when you first found out that you were having your first child?
It was a bit of a shock. Yeah, because I've never ever said this before, but in my younger days, in Pretoria, we had a shed, and I was climbing on the bloody shed, which I shouldn't have been, and I slid off, and there was a wooden fence, and I straddled it.
Oh, wow.
And I was really, really crook for a while. And later on, you know, I got to thinking, when I was a few years, you know, would I be able to have children?
Self-diagnosed.
Yes, yeah, and a little bit frightened about it. But it was up here, you know, and so it was quite a pleasant surprise, really. Yeah.
And then that leads me on to the next question of what was it like to meet your first child for the first time?
Oh, same as anybody, I think. You know, you get pretty wound up. Yeah. It's you think, what the hell? You know, it's such a small of all the animals in the world. You know, they can look after themselves. You put this little baby down, they die. You know, so you've got to welcome it and make it live. You know, it's awesome. Yeah.
Big responsibility. Put in your hands, right?
You know, you see the way horses. You know, I've seen them being born. They just boom. You know, shake it
off,
then stand up, and then away they go.
Yeah.
You know, but it's it's human. It's the way it is.
Yeah.
You know, no, it's good, proud, and same as Wayno back over the Wairarapa. Well, he was state of origin is mastered in for yeah. So.
Moving into your career, what was your first job?
With my dad. Yeah.
Working in the tyre shop.
Yeah.
What did day at the tyre shop look like?
Oh, physical. Yeah, physical work, and I really enjoyed it. You know, because I was a physical type of person, and it just kept me fit. You know, I was sort of training all day basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was good.
And what do you have to do at a tyre shop for those that don't know?
Oh, well.
You might be able to help them, Dad. You were involved in that time too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was around that time. A lot of it back then, a bit different, but I was out putting the tyres in the back of the ute and taking them out to suppliers for a start, and then also taking them out to some of the trucks back in the day, getting them fixed, but making sure everything, as cars come in to get their tyres changed, it was taking the cars off, lifting, everything was manual. There's no electronics to lift things off. Lift it off, put it on, fix it up, and then get your tyres on the third rack up the top. There's no machine that goes up to grab it.
Yeah, that's right.
That's old Ronnie, get up the top, grab it down.
And it's something they don't, not so much, they don't do that now. Because we were in the retreading, we used to put a new tread on the old tyres. Now the tyres are just all new. They run out and throw out. You know, trucks. Some of them do get retreaded because they're bigger, but that's fading away.
Yeah. How times change, eh?
Yeah.
Just like the tread on my cars, how they fade away.
They drive away.
Yeah, exactly. And what did you do for the majority of your career then? What was your main line of work?
On the moulds, basically. You know, with the steps where you've got a mould, you put the tyre, camelback they used to call it, on the tyre, put it in the mould to get the pattern, and they used to steam it on, you know. It was steam moulds. And yeah, I spent 28 years there.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
And what did you learn? What was your main takeaway from that career, that line of work?
Never thought much about it. Just, you know, you go to work, you come home, and then you do your footballs and your cricket and, you know, stuff like that. And work was just work. You just sort of a thing you had to do.
Yeah, put food on the table, right?
Yeah.
And how did you find the balance of what you had to do, like with balancing football and all your hobbies and work?
Those days, you could play cricket and football. Like there was Queen's birthday, is it? And Labour weekend. You could play winter football, summer cricket. But now, you can still do it in the lower grades, I guess. But the main thing is you've got to pick one or the other, because it goes through so many extra months nowadays.
Yeah, we got cricket in the summer and football in the winter, right?
Yeah, but the guys who play cricket don't play football because they overlap so much. Yeah.
Yeah. You might have something to say on that. You did both as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played in the same cricket team as Dad. I was lucky enough to be... I opened the bowling at one end and Dad opened the bowling at the other. That was quite fun.
It was a nice competition, actually.
Yeah. Northern Park Cricket Club. We actually held a couple of batting records as well. And they've probably been broken by now. But as far as cricket and football went, it came down to football would finish, Labour weekend would hit, that's when cricket started, and then come January the conflict started, because that's when football, pre-season football kicked off, and coaches wanting more time with you. At that stage, coach was playing in the cricket team too. More conflict there. So it was tricky, and I eventually had to choose football, but I was better at cricket than I was at football, but my passion was football, so that's just how it all went.
Yeah, it goes back to what you were saying. You essentially get to a point you got to pick one or the other, right?
Yep.
And I guess in looking over at your entire lifetime, who would be your best friend? Who would you consider your best friend and why?
Oh, there was 4 of us that used to knock around. There's Bob Wally, Bob Kennedy, and Eric Donnelly, and John Crossland. Now, John Crossland was a friend from Rewalker, from Motueka. Back in the day, Dad's cricket team, which was Northern Park, used to go down there and play. Now, he befriended John's father, and John came up to live at our place, so he could get a job. And he got a job actually on the airport when it was first being built. So that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
And he fell asleep once. He was driving, the big rollers, with the stabiliser thing, just the slow rollers.
On the cricket pitch?
No, on the airport.
The tarmacs.
Tarmac. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. And I don't think he did any damage, but he woke up in time. But
Didn't hit any airplanes.
No, there's before the airplanes could land there, you had to have an airport.
Oh, right, they're building the airport. Okay, that makes sense.
Building the airport.
What about the other 3? How'd you meet them?
At the dance, actually, the hut dance. They used to have a dance in the hut with the big 10-piece band, And I went along, and I had my stop-out socks on, and they sort of, I don't know how we actually got to talking, but yeah, and that's how it sort of started, really.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And what's a dance like for? Because I don't think I have anything like that other than like my school dance that I would have gone
Yeah.
to.
No, it was just good. The music back there was so great.
Just like a concert.
Well, everybody went, and the girls sat that side, the boys stood this side, and then they called what dance it's going to be, and then, you try and get to that girl because she can dance good, or but get halfway and she's got someone else.
So you went there to meet girls, but you met some best mates instead.
Yeah. Well, I
How
didn't really
good.
go to meet girls. I just went along anyway.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Mm.
And so I've got some fun questions to go through now. What's your favourite song?
Oh hell. Oh. Well, now that's a hard one. There's so many up them. Have been up there.
Yeah, you love your music, don't you?
Yeah. They've been up there that. I mean that big black hole I got up there.
It's in there.
No, I just got to try
Maybe
to
you
rattle
might be
them
able
around.
to remember some music Grandad had on repeat growing up.
Engelbert Humperdinck is one of the. I like a lot of his songs. Yeah, I like a lot of.
I was going to say, if you go to the artists that you listen to, the records you listen to now, you'll rather than the songs.
Yeah.
I remember Tony Christie.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Yeah. All the albums you had, the Sammy Davis and.
It's my very first one I ever bought, and I've still got it.
Yeah.
Sammy Davis Jr.
What was the other one that's like Engelbert that you?
Matt Monroe.
Matt Monroe, that's who it was. Yeah.
Good.
So,
Nice.
go and check those out online.
Yeah. Nice voice. Yeah.
Hard to come by those ones, eh? Awesome. And death row meal. So imagine you've just been put on death row. It's your last day in the world, and you get one last meal. What would it be? Maybe you can answer this one too, Dad.
Well, I think I'd refuse to eat because then they wouldn't dare kill me.
I don't think it works like that.
Oh, I don't know. Bangers and mash. I don't know.
Bangers and mash. Yeah, no lobster.
No. Yeah, I like oysters. I do eat oysters, and I like fish. And but I don't go into the old posh sort of meals.
Yeah, bangers and mash with some oysters as an entree.
Well, no. Oh yeah, it's an entree. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have half a dozen. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Would you wash it down with a drink of choice?
Yeah, have a tui, I guess. Yeah.
Tui, good old tui, eh?
Yeah. But back in the day, it was not red band. What do you call it? Oh, lion brown. Yeah, it was lion brown. And the day I changed, I was at the Workmen's Club in Tony, and they run out of lion brown, and the tui was fairly new, so I tried a tui, and well, it's not so bad. So I just stayed on tui for that night. You had to lion brown, and this was at the Workers. So next time I went there, I asked for a tui, and it's been tui since.
Yeah, I remember back in the day there was a couple of main beers, Lion Brown, DB Draft. You remember it? What I used to call it, or what you used to call it? Horsey beer.
Oh,
Yeah, because they had the Clydesdales as their catchphrase, and that's what it was, a horsey beer. But yeah, that's for that. Back to that. How long have you been a member at the Workmen's Club?
I was 20, I think. You first, back in the day, you got to be 20 or 21. Well, it might have been, before that. But I was a member, for many years, and then when I shifted to the wire wrapper, you have to renew every year, renew. And I hadn't been back in the valley for a while, but I was 3 weeks late going in to pay me subs in the white, because those days they had so many members, and I had to reapply.
Oh, really?
So otherwise I would have been one of the few life members.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you can tell that to the receptionist every time you walk in. Annoy them with that story.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And make you a life member.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's no life members anymore.
No.
No.
All right, and last one I got here, your 21st birthday. What did you do for that?
We had a party at the rugby club. Pretty sure it was a rugby club in Petone. They used to hire out there upstairs, yeah. And I've got a photo somewhere. Bloody good photo of all the boys, I'll bring it at Christmas. You can have a look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, we can see that.
Yeah.
Quite a big party then.
It was a good party. Yeah. Yeah, the old days used to have the old glass 21st
Key.
ring.
The key.
Yeah, key.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know what happened to that. No good worrying about it now.
It's a good tradition, that. I think I got gifted your one for my 21st, actually. And speaking around that age, I know you had a stint in Australia.
Yeah, went over for 6 months with Eric. I nearly didn't come back, but if I'd have stayed there, we'd have been driving trucks.
I wouldn't be around.
Yeah. Yeah, so, but I came back. Yeah, Ebert came back early, and because his father was really crook, so he came back, and about 4 weeks later, I decided to come back. We went and had a cane cutting contract, which we did about a month of it, but that was hard work.
Yeah. So just cutting down cane trees.
Yeah, cutting down the cane. You had to burn it off first, and then cut every bit down with a knife.
Yep.
Lay it down, cut the tops, put it on the trailer, take it down to the railway, tracks. Yeah, it was hard work.
Yeah, because I remember when I first moved to Australia, it was just before my 20th birthday, and you told me you had your 20th birthday in Australia
birthday, in Mackay, in Walkerston, actually, a little place outside of Mackay.
Yeah, and that's in New South Wales, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Queensland.
Queensland, Mackay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, it would have been hot up there then.
Up at Queensland, yeah.
All right, we're getting into the tougher questions to wrap it up, Grandad.
Oh, that's tough enough already.
Maybe think about this if you want to, but what's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Oh, that I've ever received. I've been told a lot of fucking things, really. Don't do this, don't do that.
Maybe we'll leave out the bad advice, eh?
Yeah. No, just be honest is the best thing, But yeah.
Being honest.
Yeah.
Goes a long way.
Yeah, all the way, really.
Yeah.
You can sleep at night. You got no worry of, You help your mates, Oh, yes, that's it. Yeah, I reckon.
Yep.
Honesty's the best policy.
Yep. And then going on to that, if you could tell your great grandkids or the next generation of Eberts one thing, what would it be?
Well, the way life's going at the moment, good luck. Jesus. I don't know what a house is going to cost in bloody 50 years' time, but it's bad enough now. I suppose it will be relevant with your wages, but yeah, I'd like to come back and have a look 50 years time and see what it's all about.
Yeah,
Have a little bo peep.
Invest in housing as soon as you can. Then I guess.
Yeah.
What would you tell yourself if you could tell teenage Ron something?
Might go back and change something, or tell.
If you now could
my
tell
great grandkids.
No, yourself. If you could tell teenage Ron something, what
Yeah.
would you say?
Oh, yeah. Be more positive. I've never confidence. Be more confident. Yeah. I mean, you've got the skills. Yeah, and I was never confident.
Yeah.
I sort of, I just held me back. I wasn't confident enough.
Yeah. Do you think that comes down to that like tall poppy syndrome, Kiwi bloke sort of thing, or is there anything specific?
No, I don't think it's anything. It's just, I think it's just the way my younger days were, with Dad being so domineering to me, and well, he taught me to fight, and it was argument with a kid round the bloody street, a friend of Milk's, and he put up a bloody boxing ring on the front lawn, and we had to knock it out.
No way.
Yeah, and it's not the right thing to do.
Yeah. It's a bit of an aggressive upbringing.
Yeah, well, you didn't want to, you had an argument, boom, that's it, and then you don't want to hit somebody over the argument, it wasn't just, I don't think it even made the situation any better,
It was interesting you say that, because you can look back on your life now and be very proud of the way you brought up Dad, because he then opened a Taekwondo club and taught a whole new generation of people how not to fight.
Well, look, there's part of the confidence in yourself. And you can walk down the street, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's all it takes, eh? I'm starting to see the full circle of that now.
It's not...
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's not just if you've got the skills, with the skills comes the learning of just walking back, just stepping back. You don't need that bullshit, but no, you can handle it if you have to, but walk away.
Yep.
Walk away.
And one last question for me, Grandad, before we wrap this up. Who is the love of your life and why?
Okay. Oh, I can't answer that one. Because this phases. Back in the day when Wayne and Shaz were born, it's one era of my life that was great. And the second was when Mary, that was quite a few years after we divorced, but that was a big hole in my life now. I just don't think I've even got over it yet.
Yeah. Well, you can be very proud of who you are, Grandad. I think the way in which you've showed yourself, and I remember growing up, you were always the happiest man in the room, and your big joyful face when you walked in and saw us as kids. It was always a fun time with Grandad Ron around to throw the ball, kick the football with.
It was also like the old McDonald parties.
Yeah, exactly. You're always there and up for it.
There, yeah.
Yeah, you're the most childish old guy we've ever met, But yeah, I think we'll wrap it up there. Thanks for coming on. I know it was off the cuff.
Yeah, it
just
was
threw you on
too
it.
much off the cuff. You should let next time give us a list of so I could read them first,
Yeah.
like they do on the TV, you know.
I'm not at TV level yet. This is you're the first one on here, so give me a break, eh? But is there anything last that you wanted to chip in there, Dad?
Oh, just it's nice to be able to have this record to go back to.
Yeah.
You know, it's the generations as they come through. You know, Brad's got another generation coming through now, and you know there'll be more, no doubt. And it's always nice to be able to have that connection. So well done, good on you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Magic.